elbow. You're going to drop underneath, shove the arm up, or at least make it so he can't drop the elbow so I could get underneath him. Pull the head down and get to here. Keep your head tight to the arm so he can't pull it out. And we're going to shoot to some kind of standing control, however deep we get him. Okay, here. Now we're going to go into that Osotogari throw I showed you earlier. You're going to step in and take him with an outer reach. Take him down to the ground, follow up, put your head to the mat. So once we're here, I'm going to put my head to the ground. That stops him from getting that arm out. This arm is going to cut off this artery. The neck has two arteries. This arm is going to cut off the artery on this side of the neck. I'm going to drop my head so he can't get the arm out and go to the triangle, like rear naked choke type position. Go to my own head on this one. Get my weight off my knees and drive in and cut off the neck. Okay? So here, push forward and squeeze the neck. There's your arm triangle finish right from the standing. I'm going to rotate him around here. The artery on this side of the neck is going to get cut off by the wrist bone.
Let's take it from there again. Say this is a different angle.
Okay. And here's a different angle to show his neck. My side of my wrist and up my forearm is going to cut off this artery on this side of his neck. Here. His own shoulder is going to compress and cut off his other artery as I drive in with force. I'm here in my position. Then to finish the choke, I come up off my knees. I like to drive forward on this, on the balls of my feet, and push forward with all my weight, and choke him out. It's going to take 5 to 7 seconds, maybe 9 seconds, but he's going to be going to sleep. So this is how to finish the arm triangle choke, right off from that standing duck under head and arm control. Finish with the Osotogari throw, and finish with the triangle choke on the ground. Okay, here's the arm triangle finish from head and arm control. See, it's rather quick. It only took 2 seconds to finish him off with the choke. That's your finish. Here's one more way. It's a little theoretical, but if you're good at your boxing, good at your slipping, and I believe I saw Chris Lytle do a standing once in Pancrase early on in his career. If you threw a cross at my face, I could parry it, step to the outside, shoot this arm through, and get to this position. So if he's here and I'm good at parrying and slipping punches, if he punches, I can slip through and step in. If he punches, I step in, parry it, and come to this position, and then finish off the same way. That's how to finish the arm triangle choke. Here's a second finish to the head and arm control. Once you're in the position, this is just something I think is rather neat and an easy way to take a guy down. You don't always got to use a lot of muscle. It's spinal force. The spine can only take so much vibration and leverage. If I just push down and wiggle a little bit, I'll find the sweet spot. So it's 2 hands together from the arm triangle position. It's 2 hands together here and push down and rotate a little bit with a little bit of vibration. And as long as he's not a huge muscular guy, it's amazing how much you can really take the guy down with this. And it takes nothing. So if you're against the wall like I showed earlier, or if you're just standing and controlling the guy and it's time to whatever, you just move him enough maybe, and you're on to someone else. Maybe I don't take him down all the way, but certainly I'm not very vulnerable when he's doing the chicken leg dance. So that's the second finish to standing arm control. It's about the way the spine works, pushing down on the head, and there's slight vibrations. You got to find the angle on the guy, rotate it a little bit, and shove down. And now I can really do some damage to him if I get him here if I want. So that's the second finish to head and arm control. Here's the last finish from the head and arm control. This one I call the spinal wipe. So you're here in your head and arm control position, and you don't want to waste a lot of energy. You can use, some scientific reasoning to take a guy down. You don't always got to be a super strong wrestler. It's a spinal wipe. You're going to hit his spine with the palm of your hand and run it on down his spine, take his leverage away, and arch his back. Remember, if he's bending backwards, he has no power. So I'm going to do a slap and wipe. Wow, how simple is that? And this guy's a tough fighter, about 170 pounds. You take the palm right to the spine and wipe it down, and that's going to arch his back. So you're here, wipe. And then you just shove him down with your shoulder, finish him off. So spinal, get him arching back, wipe, and then shove your shoulder forward, arch his head, take him down. Full speed, we're in here. Wipe him down, and go on your way. That's the last technique to the head and arm triangle. I hope you enjoyed the spinal wipe. And the next technique you're going to learn is the standing guillotine choke. Here's how you guys do the standing guillotine choke. my little intro to it with this head slap down is something you should pay attention to or really help out your game, especially on the street or in MMA. It discombobulates them a little bit. So you're gonna hit that wrist to the neck, slap their head, bowling ball it down, pinch that elbow tight to your side, and finish the choke. Full speed, we're in here wrestling or whatever, you strike the nerves with the wrist, slap the head down, pinch that there, and finish the choke. There's your guillotine choke. The wrist bone on the throat. So if we're in here with our opponent, we've kneed him or whatever, or we're in a wrestling position, this strike really helps slap him down with this bowling ball technique into the guillotine. It's a little different, no one teaches that. You hit him here and snap him down. Oh, sorry. And finish the choke right away. It just takes but a second. That's your guillotine choke. Okay guys, now you're gonna learn the standing crucifix. It's just like the guillotine. We're gonna hit him in the neck, bowling ball, snap him down. Okay, and let's say I want to do something else, or maybe he brings his hands up to pull away the guillotine. He gets some risk choice pulling that off. Then I'm going to do double underhooks. Okay, get my hands together. He's really trapped here vulnerably. I can knee him in the face, bring up some knees. Okay, and then I move my hips around, bring my growing area here, and it's a bad place for him to be in all kinds of ways. And I shove my hips forward and I pull my arms together. And that's what it is. So I snap him down. Let's say he's defending the guillotine by getting some wrist control. I got this underhook here, I just weave the other one under. So this is a great transitional technique from the guillotine. Weave the other arm over, get the hands together, rotate the hips around, and shove your hips forward. That finishes the crucifix neck crank. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be very careful while practicing this one, it's a dangerous move. Guys, here's the standing elbow crank. If someone's got that underhook on you, great example of this is Mike Tyson did this to Francois Botha, but we'll do a takedown off of it too. You just overhook it here at the elbow and torque it in. Here. Okay? Grab the neck, get him up on his toes, and then you can sweep that outside leg. So you get him here. It's like a chicken wing on the ground, like a key lock type motion, but standing up. So it's a standing elbow crank. I'll do the other one. If he's in here, you just crank it in there. See that, guys? Here. You can do all kinds of fun stuff with them. Boom. Break it. Put your hands together if you want to break the elbow and the shoulder. Here. Or just take them down. Okay? So there's your standing elbow crank. Okay guys, for that crooked arm lock, maybe you're in the over-under position. You're going to overhook that one. Boom. Twist it that way. Gets control there, or hands together. He's usually going to get up on his tiptoes there, and you just sweep him down. You can really sweep them down hard there. Little trip. You get them doing one of these. Okay, so you can always tie to defend punches while all his fighter groupies, they do underground fighting in the garage, were coming at me. So this is how to do the rear naked choke to body armor. If you just come up behind somebody, you're bouncing or defending yourself, or maybe one of your loved ones being attacked, you're going to come up behind them, strike them in the throat, and hit the palm at the lower back at the same time. That gets his back bowed. Now he's easy to control. Then you control him, go to your choke position, use him as body armor, say, hey man, I don't want any problems, and defend yourself. Now, if the guy's very large, one more detail is you can add an oblique kick to the back of the knee if he's very large to get him bent over. He has a lot of power. If he's a big guy and he's starting to pull forward, you're going to hit this and do a kick to the back of the knee. Get him back loud, and now here. And anytime I want to choke him out, just drag him down and finish the choke if you want. Or choke him out and dump him. Go on to someone else. But it's really an important thing to realize what grappling techniques you can use against multiple opponents. There's your rear naked choke, body armor. Okay guys, here's the spear and a wall takedown, or using your environment. Spearing the guy into a wall is often available in bars, in alleyways, all kinds of things. Spearing him into a car, getting his back bent. A lot of taking that spinal power out, taking his back bent and puts him vulnerable. In the UFC, it's against the cage. On the street, better yet, even the wall, you do a short double leg and take him down to the ground. You spear right into him off of a punch. Use anything. If there's a rail on a bar, you get his back bent, that helps with your takedown, or just to strike him while he's all bent over. Okay, so if we got the guy here against the wall and we're fisticuffing somewhat near a wall, even if we're out here, I can come in, boom, and drive him in and really shove hard against the wall. I'm going to be easy on my partner here, but I'm going to ram him into the wall, use my shoulder and spear up and into him, keeping my hands, my forearms up to protect myself. So if we're out here, boom, I'm going to spear into the guy. Okay, so I got inside control, I'm defending myself, and that initial is going to hit him. And then you drop down on the legs and do a quick short double leg takedown. A quick short double leg takedown. We spear him right away. You do pocket behind the knees, and do an explosive short double leg takedown to get him down to the ground, and he's in a vulnerable position, jacked up against the wall or the car. Car hood works really good, so keep this one in mind. And the spearing into things, the spear takedowns, you'll find can really help you out. Hi guys, welcome to defense to grabs and holds that are very typical. We're going to start with the simple one, a parallel wrist grab. So if a guy comes up, grabs your wrist, you know, if you're small, usually a bigger person's going to do something like this, or a woman with a male attacker, grabs my wrist, I'm just going to come back into him with energy. If I'm turning away, I'm going to come back in, step in, grab the throat, and go into my major outer reap throw that I showed you earlier in the stand-up street grappling section. So as he grabs my wrist, just step in, grab the throat, step in deep, knee bent, come through, kick the leg up, shove him down to the ground, remain standing if you can, or you'd end up in like a knee on belly position. Give a soccer kick if you want, or a couple punches, and get out of there. So again, he grabs me, maybe I turn away, use that energy if it happens this way, come back in, drive him down, and finish him off. Okay, parallel wrist grab technique. And next I'll be going into cross wrist grabs. Okay, this is what it looks like full speed. There's your parallel wrist grab. And next we'll be showing you cross wrist grabs. Here's a cross wrist grab. Guy grabs your wrist. What you're going to do is, number one, staple his hand. Don't let him take it away. Number two, your hand goes down. You step in, move your arm up and around, bring the arm parallel to him, and then it's Indian burn motion to bring him down to the ground, bring him back, drag him backwards, keep him vulnerable where you can knee, where you can kick him, and you can finish him up from there. Again, we'll do this one slow. Staple, down, up and around, step in, Indian burn motion, drag back, make him vulnerable. Do a couple full speed with follow-ups. And one more. Make them flatten out a little bit, drag them back. Then I can come in under here and do other things. Control this arm. So that's the cross arm wrist grab. Okay, here's a follow-up to the cross wrist grab. If the guy's strong, sometimes this is difficult to pull off the one I just showed you. So if I step in, if he extends his arm, he pushes his arm out, extends it, there's things I can do from there if I can't get the first lock. Right away, I can take this elbow right here and strike him there and break his elbow. Okay, so that's one option. Another option is, anytime the guy's arm is there and you're caught in this wrist grabbing type position, I can strike it with my arm, my shoulder, and break the elbow and use my chest. And that break's done this way. I use my chest and extend it and a little bit of a twist. See how he moves? I have enough control where I don't break it, but a little bit more than I could have. So as he grabs me, I step in. If he extends his arm, boom, I strike it right there with my shoulder. I grab his wrist here, and I make a little fulcrum, a little bit of leverage. Just a quick little shoulder pop. So the first one's here. I can use that elbow. Second one's the shoulder strike. And then I can also follow him down to the ground. If he extends, I can't get that lock. I can take this elbow and I can bring it over into an armpit arm lock. Take him down here. He's vulnerable to knee strikes, or slide out. Here's cross wrist grab variation number 3. If you don't want to do anything too fancy in the beginning, you just want to hit the guy and then follow up, that's okay too. So what you're going to do is you're going to come with a vertical punch, like we did in the straight blast, bring your wrist out and around, get some control of this hand right away. Then you're going to go into a top wrist lock, like a figure 4 wrist lock or a paintbrush on the ground. That's here. You're going to step behind his leg, and now you can put shoulder pressure and also your weight down with your elbow tip to sweep him out. From there, you go to a double knee ride position. You got a gooseneck wrist lock right here. Go tap lock. Okay, and then you go straight into the armbar. So you got a couple nice finishes or different breaks if you want. I'll show you from the other angle. Okay, here we are from the other angle. When he grabs your wrist, step in and punch. At the same time, this hand's gonna go down, out, and around, like we did in the earlier wrist lock, to get some kind of control of this arm and bring it up to where it's vulnerable. So we land our punch, then you're going to a top wrist lock. Here, elbow comes in, I'm gonna step through for the Osotogari type reap. Told you how important it was, how many different ways you can use it. You're gonna put pressure on the shoulder, step through to bring him down. Also your weight down with your elbow tip. And you could break the shoulder here to take him down, throw him down. Double knee ride position. Keep this tight. Here's your gooseneck wrist lock right here. You see grip it, the wrist, pull up, right there, and then you go straight into your armbar. Break the elbow if you want. As you see, you can finish off this grab with many different wrist breaks, elbow breaks. You have a lot of variety here to finish the guy off. Okay, next technique is a double wrist grab. Now, you should be aware of your surroundings, so this should never happen to you anyway. But let's say you're a female and an abusive husband or whatever is attacking you. Here's one way you can get out of it. If he's got both wrists, you have other options to strike with. You may not be able to strike with your arms very effectively, but I do have my head and my knees available. So give him a headbutt to soften him up, headbutt his nose, break his nose, give him a little knee to the groin, just give him a little bit of a love tap. Okay, then you're gonna go down, out, and around with your wrists. You're gonna step in down. If he's still holding on, if he lets go, that's fine, you fight. You get back to the fighting. Down, up, okay, bring the wrists up. This is heaven and earth wrist lock throw. Grab underneath with this hand, thumb on the back of the hand. The other one comes over on top. And you're going to step your left foot back in a circle if you really want power to break his wrist. But I'm going to go slow now to show you. Leverage him over. Come a little bit knee on side position. You could finish with punch, soccer kick, different kinds of arm bars are all available. This arm break's available right there. There's all kinds of things to finish up with. So let me show you that again. This other side. Double wrist grab. If you can't, struggling with the guy, can't get away, boom, surprise him, come in with that headbutt, break his nose, knee his crotch to the groin, go down, drop your weight, bring up. Right here, you grab underneath, thumb to the back of the hand, 4 fingers here for power, and now you're gonna roll or grab, it's up to you. On top, step back with your left leg for power in a circle. Boom, he's right there. I could have broken his wrist. Right here in a control position to drop some punches, to soccer kick the head. If that's still bent arm lock, you could do a kneeling bent arm lock right there. That's a great one. Okay, so there's all kinds of follow-ups to this one. So here's your double wrist grab technique. Next is the guy does a grab and punch, a shirt grab and punch. This happens a lot in a bar, old Western type. Hey, come here, he's gonna grab you and he's gonna hit you. Now, the number one thing to remember here is he's making himself vulnerable by grabbing you. That's eliminating one of his striking arms, plus it allows me to do all kinds of funky things to his arm, to his base, to his balance from a grappling perspective. Number two, he usually is going to swing fairly wide with this arm. If we remember centerline theory and strike on the center of his spine, his vulnerable points are there, his throat, his eyes, his groin, his chin, the knockout point. A lot of things on the centerline theory we borrow from Wing Chun. If this guy comes with a punch, the straighter of 2 strikes lands first. A straight line's faster than anything else. He comes hooking around, I'm gonna go straight in, I'm gonna bring my shoulder up to defend myself and go to his eye or to his throat or punch, but I like the palm strike to the side of the face and the thumb automatically finds its way into the eye. So I'm gonna come in here and this arm's gonna come, the shoulder's gonna come really high, the arm's gonna come high to protect myself from the punch. Now from there, I'm gonna grab the wrist somehow over top or just grab it here. And then the other arm's gonna come in and roll and chop at his elbow. It's a chopping roll. You'll see what it is in a second. So we're here, you're gonna grab the wrist somehow, and the other arm's gonna do a roll. Maybe like you're kneading dough or something strange, it's hard to describe, or I don't know, grabbing a fish in water. Whatever it is, it's a weird motion, it's rolling like a rolling pin. You're gonna chop down at the elbow, and then roll and fold his arm into me. I can even come into headbutts and stuff of that nature, but I'm gonna drop my weight and take him down with this here. I'm gonna roll it in. I'm gonna here, step back, strike and roll him down, rotate him around, bring him to a very vulnerable position. I got a standing arm, kneeling armbar right there. I can step over for a regular armbar, punches, wherever his arm lands. There's all kinds of funky things you can finish him off with, kick him in the head, whatever you wanna do. He's vulnerable because he grabbed you. You're defending yourself. He had no right to grab you and he's gonna, hey man, maybe sometimes they even do this, they don't punch right away. I'm gonna clock you one, you know, like you see in the movies. As soon as this guy grabs me, go in. Defend that punch, and then chop him down, bring him around, and finish him off. Okay guys, next technique is someone like grabs your shoulder, grabs your sleeve. how to get into it. Same as the wrist grab earlier. Guy grabs over here. I'm gonna step into it and do an overhook. I'm gonna step in, wrap my arm up and around an overhook, and I'm gonna grab his throat. From here, the overhook, I'm gonna keep stepping in and go to the leg trip throw. Lean down, whip your leg up, sweep it up to the sky, and shove him down hard. Okay, from there, right here I have an arm lock with only one arm. Grab the tricep, it just happens to be where I ended up. Arm behind the head. Drop the knee on the ribs, finish with punches, stand up a little bit, and do a little bit of an arm break. One more time. Guy grabs the shoulder, step in, up and around, overhook, grab the throat, step into it, attack the attacker. This time, entangled arm lock, that's where it ended. Okay, that's cool. I could break his elbow this way. I have no problem with that. Drop here, drop there. I could just drop, and that's real nice. So that's what you do if the guy grabs your shoulder, attack the attacker, take him down, sweep that leg out, take him down to the ground, and finish him. Since everyone's not a 220-pound pro fighter, I'm going to show you a real simple one. If a larger attacker comes up and grabs your throat and starts choking the life out of you, all you're going to do is twist your body, bring your right arm up and over, and the twisting motion is what really gets you out of this. I'm going to twist all the way. Up and over, step my left foot back, and twist. Turn and run away. That's self-defense there, right there. If it's a bigger attacker, I'm a woman, or I'm 150 pounds and 300-pound guys really trying to kill me, which is usually a mad rage when someone does this, because it's not the best attack, but it's when they're just crazy. You're going to move the right arm over, left leg back, and twist really hard, and you're in a sprinting position to take off. He's not going to catch up to you. So you're going to turn and twist and run away. Now let's say he's so strong he doesn't let go. I'm going to show that too. If he's really kind of comes forward with him. Twist, come back with the rear elbow. If you see it's like two cars hitting each other, has twice the amount of force. I'm going to twist here, he's coming forward, boom, hit him with the rear elbow, follow up with any other strikes, and get out of there. So it's a twist and run is your first number one goal. And if he manages to hold on, boom, rear elbow, go in on the guy. Okay? So that's how you defend the throat choking. That's the easiest one. That's number one. I'm going to show you what if the guy's larger, what if he's got you pinned up against a wall in the next two sections. Okay, here's if the guy you shoved up against the wall, what to do. Going to reach over and peel back these thumbs. Making a little thumb lock. Use your thumb as the fulcrum to break his thumbs, peel him back, get him bent down. At the same time, you're simultaneously going to knee him in the groin. That lightens him up enough to scoot your hips out to the side, which escaping is the most important. Grabbing the back of the neck, making like a frame with your forearm, and smashing his face into the wall. Okay, so if he's a bigger guy, got you shoved up here, it's harder to just escape. We can't do the twisting one. So reach up, peel back these thumbs, make thumb locks right here. You're going to push up on your thumbs, make a fulcrum, and down with his thumb. I got him in double ones. And rotate his elbows in and down. At the same time, simultaneously knee as hard as you can on the groin. He's there, grab the back of his head, face smash into the wall. You're done, you're out of there. It's pretty effective, pretty violent. And you should be able to pull it off on someone bigger because no matter how strong they are, once you get the thumbs, it might take a second. Once you get the thumbs good, with the knee to the groin, it's going to soften them up. So that's the technique you use when someone's throttling you, choking you against the wall. And we'll show you one more coming up. Okay, here's if a bigger opponent's throttling your neck, choking the life out of you against the wall. He comes up, choking me. I'm smaller, I can't get anything else because he's so large. We're going to go to the eyes. That's where you go when someone's so big you have to defend yourself. Here, thumbs in like we did before, grab the back of the head, thumbs go in hard. Okay? Then knee to the groin, then frame the neck. So you keep him away from you, make a frame with your forearm against his neck, right cross, and get out of there. Escape. You escaped your hips out from the wall. So as he grabs hard, eyes, groin, frame, right cross. The most important part is I got my hips out and I got away from him while he was stunned, while he was hurt. So, you know, a 120-pound woman could potentially do this effectively and get away from a 300-pound guy because he went to his eyes and his groin and you used your body as an escape. It's hard to move him, but you escaped yourself out, your hips out, and got away. So that's what you do when someone very large has got you pinned up against the wall, choking the life out of you. This one should help you out, maybe save your life. That was the choke against the wall, against someone very large. Practice this one, practice safely, and maybe someday it will save your life. Okay guys, this is a headlock defense. Typical in a bar fight, a street fight, Either a guy just comes up to headlock you, or we're duking it out. Boom, I hit him with a good one. He buries his head. He comes in with a headlock. He's going to headlock, squeeze, and then he's going to punch you. Number one, defend your neck. Bring your wrist up, your hand up, pull this wrist, put your chin into his ribs. Okay, that's going to hide. So when he does punch, even if he gets punches in, it's going to hit my forehead instead of my face by tucking your chin in so he's getting your forehead. Okay, when he goes to punch, you take this other arm, the far arm, and come inside his bicep to help slow down or totally block these punches. Number two, you keep your balance, your base, so you don't get headlocked. You don't get taken down to the ground. Maybe he's going to sit through and try and throw you to the ground. So you keep a good wide base with your legs. Now I'm going to shove my shoulder forward. Shove my shoulder forward and keep tight. Don't come wide, keep tight. Bring this wrist behind him in a chicken wing. As I come up behind his back, as you see here, right away I let go of this left wrist, come to the neck, lock down, arch his back. Now I got body armor. Use him against his opponents. I got the chicken wing wrist lock here, pulling up on his back, and I got a half choke. I can choke him pretty good here by clamping down and keeping him bent backwards. Or pull your elbows down and make it like attached to your body, drop your weight. But he's bigger than you, he starts to drag you backwards. As he drags you backwards, what you do is you time the step, okay, and you step into him. You step behind the leg, and you step into him. Here, you get side to side with him. And then what it is keeping this tight, and you're gonna keep low. Keep a nice base with your knees bent, and then you're gonna do a twisting motion, twist him down, there's your takedown. You follow up with whatever you need, punch, kick, call 911, get out of there. All right? So we'll show it a little more, 3/4 speed perhaps. As a guy comes to attack you, defend the neck, he's dragging you backwards, step into him, twist him down, throw him down to the ground. Standing arm lock, hits, whatever you want to finish with. Okay? All kinds of good stuff you can do to him while he's down there. One more time. Okay guys, here's how to defend against the bear hug. Multiple opponents, a lot of times one of the guys is going to grab you so the other guys can beat you. You got to react and get out of it right away. Attacker comes up behind you. So he comes, your arms are pinned in, so you can't do a lot with them. Maybe you want to do a quick groin grab first and squeeze as good as you can. But number one, I'm going to swing my arms up as hard as I can, simultaneously as my right foot steps out to like a wrestling stance or a football or an athletic ready stance. You're going to get low. Swing your arms up to help try and break the hold. Even if it doesn't, you're creating space. Here, see how I'm making space? And I'm lowering my center of gravity. As I do this, I shove my butt into him. In a real self-defense, I'd also swing my head back as hard as I can. Maybe you break his nose while you're at it. Here, okay? I got a lot of